Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of Baba TV, House of Consciousness.
Jones.
From the 80s, 85 to be exact. December put me on the map. Little nigga, he was black. African American with naps. Came up in the streets, saw the crack. Niggas in the hood selling gas. Real niggas give a nigga dap. From the old school to the A-gap to the tapes and cassettes. You know how it was. We want a track if it had a buzz. CDs came out later. Everybody still rocking gators. Catch a nigga in the fresh jeans. Fresh velour suit looking clean. Shoes cost $100, man. 80s baby. 80s baby coming clown. I'm a 80s baby. And you know, I'm a 80s baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a 80s baby.
Peace and Black Power. Shout out to the family out there, the viewership. Definitely a shout out to Baba TV. All right, House of Consciousness, HOK. Special shout out as well to my brothers right here. We are Eden War Projects up here in the Bronx, New York. You know what I'm saying? Throw your Black Power fist up for the people. You know what I'm saying? This is a time where it's unity, it's nation time. We got to show a sign of strength. We got to be able to throw our fists up strong and proud. You know what I'm saying? It's a mindset that goes behind it too. Not just the symbolism of throwing your fist up. It's a whole mentality. So we want to embrace not just the throwing the fist up, but also, you know what I'm saying, getting the consciousness up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Getting your discipline up, getting preparation, getting prepared. Man, because it's about to go down. I mean, hey. The Crackers ain't playing. There's nothing new with that. It's just they're on their turn up. They're advancing and everything. In fields of technology, you know what I'm saying, and science. You know what I'm saying? Also, even in racism, as an institution. You know what I'm saying? And as it deals with Negro management. Oh yeah, they're stepping that up too. You know what I mean? You got Donald Trump in office. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask the family here, too, what y'all think about, I mean, you can kind of guess the answer, but I want to get, specific brothers want to get on and just what you think about. What do you see this as for black people? Good? Because some black people do believe it's good. You had people like 50 Cent that endorsed them. You had Kanye West. You had Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So you had, and you know what I'm saying, he got only 8%, 8 to 10% of the black vote. You know what I mean? But there are a lot of blacks that endorsed that, right? Well, I want to know what the brothers, family over here, what y'all think? How do you think that's good for black people? If so, why? And if it's bad, definitely why?
I don't know. I don't know. I got to see what he's going to do. I really don't know what he is.
Have you heard anything about his background? As about as being a racist, make America great again. You know what I'm saying? What does great mean? You know, if this is considered the greatest country in the free world, right? And he's saying, let's make America great again. It sounds like that good old boy network thinking.
Back in the days, like he trying to take it back to Jim Crow type shit. Yeah, he want to bring it back to that, but I don't think it's going to get that far. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's too many people out here. We ain't going to let it go back to no Jim Crow shit. You know what I mean?
That's the spirit.
So that's what that shit is about. But we just got to see what he going to do, because he can't do none of that 1970s, 60s shit. That shit ain't going to pop off. There's too many of us that's too conscious now, so that shit ain't going to happen. He going to have to figure out something to do. I don't know. I just got to watch him and see what he do.
The brother H. Rap Brown, okay, he said, black people are not outnumbered. We are out organized. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So even though you said he can't do that, I'm glad you said that, because that is the right spirit. It's not defeatist. You know what I mean? It's not stand downish. That's the kind of mentality. That's that grassroots. The blueprint for that kind of attitude. So I like that. But as far as a strategy, how important would you rate a level of strategy that we need in order to get liberation on any level? Because liberation is in layers. It ain't just one liberation. It's in a lot of layers. But what do you think?
Like I said, he's just too confusing. Like I cause I really don't. He's like I don't understand that nigga. You know what I mean? So I just gotta watch him and then figure it out. But we just need. I don't know, man. I just gotta see. I can't tell. I can't tell, son.
We definitely got to organize. My brother right here, part of the unit team. Shout out to the unit team. And by the way, man, you can just show, you know what I'm saying, where we're at, Eden Wall Projects. You know what I'm saying? The unit team, we do work in this project because it's about organizing. And there's levels to this. And there's stages of growth and development you go through. But you have to have first a mentality. You got to know that there's a need for change and that you want to become part of it or learn something that would inspire you to want to become a part of that. So that's what the whole point is, man. We do work in here. We were showing the movies. Did you come some nights to the movies when we was holding Hidden Colors Force? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The community was coming out, supporting the unit team, you know. Study group, you know, we out here outreaching to the people. As you can see, we in the community. I like to be where the people are at. You know what I'm saying? Those who are considered the downtrodden, by some, even animals. Nah. We want to go to where the people are at, to really check the temperature of the city, to feel the vibe of the city, to see what New York is all about. Right here, where our greatest warriors, our greatest resource is right here. Okay? And the so-called, that's right, lower income areas. You know what I mean? But even in that, we have a mentality where we desire to live like kings. We're just misguided warriors. You know what I'm saying? So it's about organizing and building. You know what I'm saying? Brother, drop something. Donald Trump. Donald Dump, as I heard you call him. I like that one. You know what I'm saying? Drop something for the people, brother.
Well, I'm glad that, hold on, Mike. I'm glad in a sense that we do have Donald Dump in office because it's going to wake a lot of people up. And I've been saying this prior to him getting elected. I was saying, actually, I hope that he got elected because I felt that it would get people's attention and it would wake people up. And it has done so. Now, on the flip side of that, it has gotten a lot of white people back in that 1955 mentality where they're like, we're going to spit on these niggas. So, we have to be ready for that. We always had to be ready for that, but we never felt we had to be ready for that on a mass level in a modern day and age like 2016, 2015. We felt that it was all good now because we had a black president. But as we've seen, we don't even control who gets into the presidency because the Electoral College has all the say. You just have the popular vote. Basically what that is, you determine who you would like to get into office. The Electoral College and all the elites look at that and they say, okay, we're going to choose who we want anyway. So they get somebody else to run their plan all along. This was probably planned 20, 30, 40 years before any of us even knew any of these people existed. Donald Trump has been making this campaign for his presidency for about 20 years. He's been in movies, Home Alone. He's got stunnered by Stone Cold Steve Austin. He shaved Vince McMahon's head at WrestleMania. Vince actually was in his campaign on his corner. Linda McMahon has talks about her getting jobs in the White House with him. So it's all a show. It's always been a show. And basically, the election is to fool you into thinking that you have some kind of power. What's up, brother? That's another one of the brothers right there that helped raise me when I was a youngin' and helped build me to the man that I am today and getting this knowledge. And one of the people at Edenwald. But it's always been a show, and it's always been something that they played with and toyed with and made us feel like we had some sense of democracy. But actually, as Malcolm X put it, it's only been hypocrisy. They've only shown us glimpses of what we've expected this country and nation to be, all the while slapping us in the face. I said a quote I think last week. People were talking about Bernie Sanders. Hopefully Bernie Sanders could come back and if Trump gets impeached, because it's talks that he's getting sued by different women and agencies and failed business ventures. So people were talking about Bernie Sanders coming back in. So I just said, basically people relying on Bernie Sanders again is people relying on one of these elite puppets. Somebody who we don't know about. Who really knows anything about Bernie Sanders prior to this election? I'll wait. And that's for you people at home on YouTube. I guarantee everybody brings up that one photo of him marching with Martin Luther King. Let me tell you, again, these could be agents. They plant these little people at their protests, and they give them a biography. So 20 years later, when they have them running for state, they can use them as their puppets. We don't know this. We have to wake up, okay? So you're relying on Bernie Sanders to come, right? Then Bernie Sanders gets elected, right? 4 years later, you're looking at Bernie Sanders like, what have you done for us? Where's all the promises that you claim you were going to give us? Bernie Sanders is out the door with his pants up, and we're down with our pants at our ankles, acting like we didn't just get raped again. And it's going to continue to happen if we don't wake up and start learning and start applying this knowledge and this black power and everything that we've been speaking and putting into fruition for the past 50 years since Malcolm and Martin have been assassinated, and Fred Hampton. We need to keep going with their revolution, stop playing, and we need to bang on this beast like Seti said. And peace and black power to the Black Power Cartel. I ride with you, Sister Ashada X. I know who you are. I love you, Sister Seti. Everybody down. I love y'all. And nobody bangs on this crack like the Black Power Cartel and Cyrus Suit and Seti and the whole House of Consciousness. And they don't play. We not playing. And it's 2017, and we going to be banging on this beast like this white man is trying to bang on us. Let's go.
Woo-hoo! This mic is hot. Yeah. That's my brother right here. You know what I'm saying? Brother Big L. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and you brought up some very good key points. It's about us now. It always been about us, but it's another reality check. It can't be the white man smacks and we just say ouch again, like I like to say. Smack, ouch. You know what I'm saying? Just reactionary. No, we need to be revolutionary, and we need to have plans, not just a plan, but plans of action.
Yes, sir.
Because this shit is multidimensional. You know what I'm saying? And until we start to organize and understand, first of all, and organize based upon that understanding, you know what I'm saying? We're going to find ourselves worse off than we was in the 50s. There was something called the Kerner Commission, American think tank. They do statistical data and research and all that. And they had said that America was more hostile, separate, and racist now than it was in the 60s. You know what I mean? The turbulent 60s, where we see the things in documentary of a time that was polarized with racism and people fighting for their rights. They're saying it's worse now because they're going by how it's multidimensional, the economic dynamics. You know what I'm saying? The disproportionate distribution of wealth and privilege. All these things, you know what I mean? How the European, from when they first started coming here, the peasants and the people, the poor Europeans that was, you know what I'm saying, from other countries coming here getting naturalized, how they was given money through from the FHA from 1934 all the way up to the 60s, government grants and loans backed by the government to build what became known as the suburbia or suburban America today. You know what I'm saying? And they was able to build equity and all that and have privilege and access to that. You know what I'm saying? So our situation is by social design, by spiritual, enslavement. You know what I'm saying? By mental enslavement, along so many different lines that we have to break shackles, and we got to fight a lot of things because we're sick as a people. We talk about a lot of the issues in the community, but one thing we do have to let resonate within us, and we have to really ponder, is the fact that mental health is a serious issue and epidemic in the black community. Schizophrenia, bipolarism, all kind of stuff, all kind of mental defects. You know what I mean? So we gotta, we gotta address our issues, and even in the conscious community, you see that. Absolutely. But a lot of the people, you know what I'm saying, the way they respond to things, over emotionalism, bipolarism a little bit, you know what I mean? A lot of people are just, you know what I'm saying, it's on so many different levels. The conscious community is only a reflection of the community at large. So us as a people, even under being conscious, we know that we got to clean up our act. We got to get more serious. We said we're going to organize now. All black people ain't going to come together. There's going to be the coon class regardless. There's going to be the Uncle Tom house nigga regardless. You know what I'm saying? There's people that got too much invested in the system, or believed in the, or mentally shackled by the system to ever break from that. It's just what it is. However, the organizing that's going to have to happen and is going to take place is going to have to come through conscious people. That we got to clean ourselves, myself included. We got to clean our shit up. We got to get our minds and our discipline and our strategy and our game plans of action on point and right. We need to start really blueprinting for black power. You know, so this is going to be more of a wake-up call to us. And a lot of people who are asleep, they're going to be smacked and having a rude awakening, and they're going to wake up to consciousness, you know what I mean? But it's about being proactive, not just reactionary, you know? So, you know, oh, man, so Black Power, man, you know, we got a bright future ahead of us as long as we organize, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We lack organization. We lack group economics. We lack all the things we need. We got a lot of things going on with us as a people. You know what I'm saying? We down us a lot, but I like to big us up because I see the greatness in us. You know what I'm saying? When I'm around my brothers, you know what I'm saying? At the bottom, you know what I'm saying? But their minds, they're up top, you know what I'm saying? And they still growing and evolving, you know what I'm saying? And they know that they kings regardless, you know? These are the brothers I like to build with. These are the brothers I like to be amongst, grow with, learn from, and teach. You know what I'm saying? Because the power is here, but it's about us, okay? Trump is they already had a game plan, like you said. You know what I mean? None of this is just by coincidence, like you was bringing up. Not to sound all like some conspiracy theory, but remember I seen a picture on Facebook where Donald Trump is going down. It was on a Simpson, an old episode of the cartoon The Simpson, and he has the red tie on, I believe, and he's going down the escalator. He's the president, and he's waving. And then they showed the actual picture at the day after the election with him going down. I was just like, yo, that's ill. That's deep. You know, for a person that has no political background, no military background experience. I mean, he's very brilliant and intelligent. Obviously, he's a multi-billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But I know the requirements to be a president, they say, is to be 35 years of age, an American-born citizen, you know what I'm saying? A military veteran, something of, you know, he has no government official, formal government. That's the basics, but you know, preferably people want to see what you got on your resume. What kind of political background do you have or experience? Military, I remember there was a whole bunch of shit over Bill Clinton. No, in the Clinton era, when he was running for office, and they was trying to get on him because he dodged the draft, something like that. You know what I mean?
It wasn't Bush.
Either way, one of them crackers. But I believe it was, you know what I'm saying? But the whole point of the matter is, you know, for him to have no political background, he's rich. You know what I'm saying? And his money, it is a corporation. You know what I'm saying? His election should show you that too. And and you gotta understand something. He's just a figurehead. You know what I'm saying? He's not just running the show. There's all kind of shit going on behind the scenes. But the people behind the scenes that made sure that he got put in office and in the position of power that he is agenda oriented. You know what I mean? He didn't just get there, no political background, no military background, nothing. He been bankrupt all kind of different times. You know what I mean? Made bad business decisions and investments and all that.
Still a billionaire.
Yeah.
White supremacy.
You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing in the matter is it's about to get turned up because you see all them redneck crackers down there in the South. They all voted for Trump. And at the North too. But you seen down there, the Bible Belt states, boy, a lot of them, believe it or not, a lot of them rednecks down there, them hillbilly tobacco chewing, pickup driving crackers down there. You know what I'm saying? They don't all be voting all the time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are ignorant and understand the political process, like even though they still got, you know what I'm saying, privilege over us in society. You know what I mean? But a lot of them don't. But this time, because Trump came, you know what I'm saying, they're tired of seeing a nigga's face for 8 years up in their White House. Yeah, they got their Confederate flag took down. The white man feel like the Mexicans are. Once he came in talking about, you know what I'm saying, deportation. For instance, in the Obama administration, he had deported, I think, 2.5 million people in his whole 8 years in office. In his whole 8 years, Trump vowed that when he gets in January, he's deporting 2 million off the rip. It's gonna get ill, and that's just the beginning. You know what I mean? But it's good in a sense for those who are aware. You know what I'm saying? To really tighten it up. Tighten up our ranks, get serious, stop being a revolutionary without a cause. You know what I'm saying? Let's not just talk about it. Let's really, and you can't always talk about everything on the damn social media. A lot of people will say, watching this ignorantly, nah, people get, oh, you didn't never give the solutions, Sankofa. You know, there's many solutions. Revolution starts within first, and then it spreads abroad. So a change starts with you first. We got to collectively, you just got to tighten up our ranks. That's what we got to do. Like this is real talk. And there's a lot more of what you've been seeing over the last few years. You know what I'm saying? The white man's burden and extreme white resentment, the rise of the white militias, and right-wing Christian militia groups that are also contractors for the United States military and stuff like that. So when something pop off, they're already deputized to go to war with us. They're training.
Oh, yeah.
Groups like the Oath Keepers, Blackwater, where they was called Blackwater, their name has changed to something else now. You know what I'm saying? They lining up their people. They line, you know what I'm saying? They're positioned. They're ready. We're not, because we're still taking it as a joke. We don't see the opposition for what it is. We're so busy banging on each other, disagreeing with each other, trying to over-critique each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of it too at times. Comparing ourselves to others, envying each other's, talking about pocket watching. You know what I'm saying? Like Doggy Diamond said. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Doggy Diamond's TV. Tag Cromwell, Black Power to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But real talk. But we're not focused. We're distracted. You know what I'm saying? By things that was put here to distract us. You know what I'm saying? And we hate ourselves so much. It's just crazy. But you know what? In order to be a real revolution, that's the burden of a real revolutionary-minded black man who believes in us still. You know what I'm saying? That's the burden of a revolutionary black man, having to deal with the mentality, the self-hate of our people. But you see, I love you more than you hate yourself. I love us more than we hate ourselves. That has to be the mind state. You know what I mean? Because you'll give up. A lot of your people will burn you out. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with a lot of the hate and the negativity and the division. So a lot of things that we're going to be seeing, and we already have been seeing, but it's going to turn up. This cracker's not playing.
He didn't even get in the White House yet.
He didn't even get in yet. No, yeah, and you already see the white man. You feel the temperature of these crackers on the streets.
He didn't even start his 4 years.
I remember I was walking down the street, and I told you, a cracker bumped into me.
Oh,
and I turned and looked. Right? I turned and looked like, and I seen him look at me and just keep walking. And this is the day after I had to jog up in front of him, cut him off. Yeah, I had to cut him right off and get in his face. Yo, listen, cracker, I slapped the trump out of you. I didn't say I slapped the shit out. I was like, I slapped the trump out of you, cracker. Don't ever disrespect me. Hands all in his face. Like letting him know somebody got to be turned up. Everybody can't just sit the fuck and fall back. I'm not saying be stupid and make not wise decisions. I'm not saying that, especially for the youthful people out there. Listen, that wasn't the moral of the story. You know what I'm saying? I was just letting you know how I had to get in and check a cracker because they're turning up. You know what I'm saying? They're not playing. And you should feel the temperature of them, especially out here in New York. Where I come from, they say, oh, Boston, mad racist. America's racist. They said, well, it's different. Hold on. They said it's different in the South.
No, Malcolm, he said don't talk about the South. He said, the South is just like the North. He said, as long as you south of the Canadian border, you south.
You in the South. He said, everything south of the Canadian border is the South, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? These crackers up here, boy, in New York, they ain't nothing nice. They're already the racist-ass New York Police Department. If you don't know that, man, they you know what I'm saying? They outdo the skinheads and the KKK when it comes to putting working on niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Yeah, but to keep the momentum up and to keep on the subject matter, it's time for revolution. It's been time. You know what I mean? It's been time. But now the wake-up calls are going to be calling even they're going to be calling you out even more. That's what they're doing.
One last thing I want to say. I hear a lot of people saying that get ready for a race war. But like Neely Fuller Jr. says, those who don't know him, if you know Dr. Wilson, there will be no Dr. Wilson without Mr. Neely Fuller. And as Mr. Neely Fuller says, we have always been in a race war. Ever since they brought us over here, they have started the race war. Don't wait for the media to publicize somebody getting out in the street with a military tank saying we have declared a race war. It has always been on. What do you think the bodies in the street are for? What do you think Trayvon Martin are for? What do you think Emmett Till was for? Those are all victims of the war of racism, white supremacy. The system of racism, white supremacy, as Neely Fuller Jr. states it.
That's right. That's right. It's facts, indeed. So now if you don't know, you're going to be made to know. It's a damn shame if you don't know already, though.
The best thing you could do, honestly, as if Malcolm X was here and he wasn't rolling over in his grave, is get as many gun licenses as you can, learn how to shoot, learn how to plant. Yeah, learn how to build, be carpenters, stop wasting your money in college, get enough trades, learn how to stitch, learn how to do things self-sufficiently.
So, hey, thank you. I appreciate it, black man. Black power. And yo, you travel in harmony. You know what I'm saying? make sure you stay on point too. Everything you said a lot of key points, and you got to apply that to yourself. We got to apply that to ourselves too. You should be getting fit, drinking a lot more water, getting in shape, you know what I'm saying? Because the mind and the body connects. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to have yourself balanced. You know what I'm saying? So stay right. I always say this, do a push-up and pick a book up.